What's up, everybody? This is Eddie McVeigh with a Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. This will be part one. This is from my little nephew Brandon. He's out here playing this game, and we'll give him a little bit of advice, and a little bit of expertise, a little bit of what I know how to do on this. I'm not actually doing a live commentary. This is where I've edited. I've already played it previously. Level I've already played through. There's a couple of mistakes I make through here. It's not entirely perfect, but you know, it's kind of to give my nephew here a basic gist of the Metal Gear game. He's not experienced with it, and you know, kind of show him some things that I know. Maybe some other people out there who are new to the series, never played it before. You pick up Ground Zeroes or something. Maybe you find a cheap used copy of it or something for a starter PS4 game or whatever. You know, this kind of, maybe this will help you get past some of the harder areas of it, I suppose. This is actually the Ground Zeroes mission where you're supposed to rescue two characters by the names of Chico and Paz. Chico being a little boy and Paz is a little girl. They're being held on a CI black site base is what they call it. Camp Omega, I think, if I remember correctly. And it's kind of, I think, Guantanamo Bay would be the best way I'd know to describe it. Metal Gear Solid is a game that is about stealth. It's, you know, you can play the game however you choose. You know, if you want to go through and what I like to say, Rambo the game, you can do that. And it can be fun to play that way if you're, you know, if you're pretty good at, you know, constant combat or whatever I'd say. But it can get pretty hectic and pretty hairy depending on, you know, whatever weapons you're carrying. Metal Gear Solid is a lot of the games in the series are based around what they call weapons, or OSP, or on-site procurement, which means you start out with very little, and whatever weapons you end up with are ones that you find or accumulate throughout the game. Either you pick them up somewhere or you take them off of a dead enemy. In this case here, I had already played this level previously, so I cut out at the very beginning where I had a few extra guns and things. I didn't pick up any of them. The guns that you see me in possession of at this moment, excuse me, are the ones that you start the game with in the very first place if you'd never loaded it at all. So that's the trick of it. Let's see here. You start out with two basic weapons. Your pistol is it's a tranquilizer gun. It's a single shot gun. So every time you shoot the gun, he has to reload it to prepare for another shot. So you have to take that into account. And you also get an assault rifle. The assault rifle is if you want to kill enemies, you can use that. But mainly, for me, the purpose of the assault rifle comes down to basically shooting different things like lights. Lights is something you may mainly see me shoot with the assault rifle. You saw me do this previously a little earlier in this video where I shot out a spotlight on a guard tower. The tranquilizer pistol, or the Wu pistol as it's also known, and I'll call it from now on, the Wu pistol cannot shoot through glass. That's the one trick about that weapon. It cannot shoot through glass, so just, you know, remember that. You can't do that. You cannot shoot out lights with it. It does not have infinite ammo. It has an infinite suppressor, which is a good thing. So you don't have to worry about the suppressor running out. Some people would refer to that as a silencer, but you cannot actually silence a firearm. Anyway, but that's the trick. The Wu pistol, you know, it's a pretty good tranquilizer gun. Generally, when you shoot at the guards, a headshot, if you hit them in the head with the tranq gun, they'll go down instantly. But if you don't hit them in the head, if you hit them in body shots, you're looking at something like, I don't know, probably you know, 3 shots. Sometimes maybe 4. There are some guys I've seen it take 4 before, but it's usually 3 shots. But here you see, you know, I'm going through here, and crawling is one of your best friends in this game. That's no lie, it really is. If you know, the trick to Metal Gear Solid is it's really more about stealth. I did tell you you can play the game pretty much however you want. You can Rambo through it if you're good enough to play it that way. But if you're a novice to the series, you're not used to the control, to how the weapons aim, and this and that and everything else, you definitely want to practice your stealth first. The other thing is too, if you are going to Rambo the game, practicing stealth and getting good at that in this game, it helps that aspect of it out. Rambo, think about in the movies, Rambo didn't run around and just, you know, kill a whole field full of guys, you know what I'm saying, right away. He started out, you know, trying to one at a time things or whatever, you know. And that's what you want to do here. Same thing. There you want to stop at this little guard tower. If you've used very many shots out of your Wu pistol, there's more ammunition you'll find for it in that little guard shack. This guy will always walk down here. It's a good idea to make sure you get him before he gets down there to this little camp right here, this little refugee camp. Prisoner camp is what it actually is. You know, slide down here. Also, too, there's usually not any other guys that come down this hill, so this is also a good place to kind of, I didn't do it here, but it's a good place if you want to use your binoculars and kind of scan for enemies. One thing that this game has added that they didn't have in previous Metal Gear Solids was, in this game you can mark your enemies. When you scan them with your binoculars to see where they are, their positions and everything, the game basically marks them.
That's the old prison area.
Like I said, that is a new feature, so now you can kind of see where the guys are. If they're within a certain range of you, you can see where they are, even through walls and such. It's kind of supposed to be like a modern day replacement of the Soliton radar they had in the old ones. I don't know, I think it's a bit, it kind of makes the game, you can kind of use that and really cheese the game, to be perfectly honest with you. Because see, like right here, you know, is a good example. I was looking over there, you can see through the tarp and see the triangle over the guard right there, which signifies he's an enemy. One thing I'll explain is that, okay, if you notice over people, you see the triangle symbols. Friendlies are the green triangle, and enemies obviously are the red triangle. You'll also see whenever you scan vehicles, those will have circles over them. If it's an enemy vehicle, obviously it'll have a red circle over it. If it's empty, it'll have a white circle over it. That's the things for the vehicles. Now the weapons you'll see, like on this little encampment here, you'll see anti-aircraft guns. If you look off in the distance right there on the screen, you can see little white squares. Those are anti-aircraft guns. Those are enemy weapons. And the reason why they're white is because no enemies are actually armed on them right now. So they're white, meaning they're being unused. Now here you're going to see one of my mistakes playing through this level. I put this guy to sleep, and his buddies over here. The guards are a little stupid on this game, I swear. They really are. It's funny. Like, I would think if I was standing there and I saw you know, surely I'm going to see or hear my buddy drop over there. I'm going to go, hey, wait a minute, something's going on here, you know? I don't know. Yeah, I carry one of them over here. This is a good little spot to stash guys. If you're making a playthrough of this where you're not killing any guards, you're just, you know, tranking them out or whatever. You're going for, like, say, a perfect stealth, no kills run. You know, Yeah, this is a good little spot to stash guys, so that if anybody else happens to come down there after a shift change, shift change happens, if I can get the words out correctly, after a shift change happens, uh, you they're not easily noticeable back there. You notice I kicked that one guy and they both woke up. This is kind of basically it's my own fault, and then it's an area glitch in the game. I put the two guys close together. What I was trying to do was kick one of the guys so I could wake him up and then CQC him, which is close quarters combat. And I was going to interrogate him, but they ended up both waking up, and I said screw it, and I just threw them both off in the ocean. They can drown for all I care. They can go to hell, straight to fucking hell. Anyway, I digress. Alright, well, in here, inside this little camp area with all these cages, look like dog cages, you'll see all these green triangle guys here if you scan, actually.
There's someone in there.
All the doors all through here I gotta unlock. Now, from where I'm at right now, if you look all the way to the right over here, actually straight in front of me, that triangle right there straight in front of me that's lit up right there, that's Chico. And you want to make sure that what you want to do is go through here, and all of these prisoners, you want to unlock all their doors. That's what I do. I go through and I unlock all their doors first. Okay? And you unlock all their doors, and once you got all their doors unlocked, I usually always go all the way back over to the other side over there, and I grab the guy that's the farthest away from the fence door and pick him up. And you'll see here in just a moment what I'm about to do with him. Basically, when you go out the fence door here, you'll see the edge of the rocks, the cliff edge. Well, you'll see me do it right here. There's a path right here that you can take where you're kind of stashed out of sight, so to speak. But if you know the right way to do this, you can do this without being seen, pretty much with impunity. You can just run through there all you want. More or less like you own the place. But that's the trick to it anyway, kind of do it like you own it. Pretty much anyway. Well, don't got a whole lot more time here. You'll see me take and remove some more of these prisoners and put them all down there in a spot. The reason why I'm putting them down there is because one of the landing zone spots or whatever for the helicopter extraction point would be another term to use for it, is right down there. So I'm going to take all these guys and put them down here kind of in a little powwow, so to speak. You want to make sure that you grab all of the prisoners before you grab Chico. The reason why is because when you grab Chico, being one of the main objectives of the mission, the game engine will then is programmed then to initiate a shift change on this base. So you'll see the message actually will pop up. It'll say Marine CP shift change, and what that means is all the guys that you've put to sleep or killed or whatever, whichever you played it, they will be replenished. There will be a whole base full of new guys. But they won't be like all throughout the base, like right straight away, within, it takes a couple of minutes actually for them to be completely replenished, but they'll all start making their way to make their rounds or to their guard post or wherever the hell they're supposed to go. So you have to take all that into account. But I'm fixing to end this first video right here. It's coming close to an end. So, all right, Brandon, and everybody else watching, see you in the next part.